Good morning, Southeast Texas. Meteorologist Jeff Kirby here. We're going to give a look at the weather for today. I also want to give you the latest river levels and river forecast as we get into this afternoon and to the next few days. Some of the river levels they're forecasting to be lower than they have over the last couple of days. So that's some good news. And also some good news is we don't see a whole lot on radar so far this morning. It's just some spotty showers. That's about it. And looks like at least through this morning we won't see much on radar. We might pick up some rain as we head into this afternoon. All right, let's take a look at what's going on outside. Plenty of cloud cover out there for this morning. Taking a live look from Port Arthur on our Roofing 911 live Skycam network, where our temperatures are in the middle 70s out there for this morning. We'll get up close to 80 degrees for later on this afternoon. But that's about it with the cloud cover and the possibility of more rain. I don't think we're going to get too warm. I appreciate everybody tuning in to this live broadcast. Quick look over towards Le Burge Casino Resort, and once again seeing cloudy skies and also some gusty winds. Cameras blowing around on top of Le Burge over there. All right, once again, temperatures right now generally in the middle to upper 70s, right around 80 degrees. We'll hang pretty much where we are right now as far as temperatures through the afternoon. We might get to around 80, Port Arthur and Orange. Take a look at radar. Good news, there's not a whole lot on here. We see a group of some showers and a few heavier downpours out into the Gulf of Mexico, but spotty stuff around Southeast Texas here for this morning. You can see just very spotty showers through Tyler County. Nothing showing up, at least not much showing up through northern Jasper County, and just a few spotty showers in northern Newton County. Drop a little farther to the south. Heavy downpour there right around the Silsbee area, just north of Silsbee. A couple of spotty showers around the Beaumont area over towards Orange County. Things look a lot drier than they did this morning. Orange County picked up anywhere from about 2 to 3 inches of rain this morning. Had some localized flooding there on some of the roadways. And right now, probably the most concentrated rain is through parts of central and southern Jefferson County, where we're seeing some scattered showers, a few heavy downpours here and there. Heading out 90, you might run into a little bit of rain. But looking pretty good on radar right now. We don't see too much out there, just a couple of scattered showers here and there. Put this into motion, you can see the general trend today is everything's coming in from the south and east. It's going to be moving off towards the north and west. It's all rotating around an area of low pressure out in the Gulf of Mexico we'll talk about here in just a second. But right now, like I said, as these showers come in, they're pretty spotty, not much to show. There is some rain. Let's see if we can move the camera around. There is some rain over here towards southern Louisiana. That's going to be drifting off towards the north and west, so we might catch some of that. The stuff we're seeing down here due south of Sabine Pass, that's all going to be drifting over towards generally kind of the Houston area, Galveston Bay, places like that. So that should miss us off towards our south and west, while that batch over towards central Louisiana over here. That's the one that might, if that holds together a little bit, that might be making its way over towards at least part of southeast Texas here for later on this afternoon. A lot of moisture out there in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's all funneling right up through our area. You can see right up through parts of Louisiana, and also funneling up through parts of southeast and east Texas. So that moisture is pretty much right overhead. All we need is a little trigger to spark off some heavier rains, and we could get that very easily today. Now, when I say spark off some heavy rains, I'm not talking about 15 inches of rain like we saw Monday. Officially out at the airport Monday, we had, I think, 9 inches, almost 9 inches. Oh no, almost 10 inches of rain out at Jack Brooks Regional Airport. I don't think we're going to see that today. If we see anything, it'll be a couple inches here or there, maybe some isolated spots of 3 or 4 inches. But we're not looking for the type of weather we saw on Monday. I just don't see that playing out. We will see some rain, and it might be fairly steady through part of the day, but it's going to be a little bit less amounts, it looks like, instead of that what we saw out there for early this week. Now, we do have an area of low pressure out in the Gulf of Mexico. It's pretty easy to pick that out. You can see that spinning around right towards the central Gulf of Mexico, or western side of the Gulf of Mexico, I guess you could say. And it continues to spin off towards the north and west. Right in here is the rotation. Hurricane Center is giving this a 40% chance of development over the next few days, but this looks like it's moving at a pretty good clip off to the north and west. So it looks like it's going to be coming on shore sometime late tonight or early on Saturday. Gulf water here is less than 80 degrees. You got to really have 80 degrees or more to really get some development. Like I said, got cooler waters. This thing's moving quickly, going to be heading towards the coast here fairly quickly. So this, more likely than anything, will not develop into nothing. If it becomes anything, it might be a very quick tropical depression before it makes landfall. But I doubt if it even does that. If it even does that, Hurricane Center, like I said, keeping an eye on it. But I'm not. It doesn't. It's not going to develop anything. I just don't see that happening. Anyway, but it will bring us an increased chance of maybe some more widespread rain. I don't think it's going to do well. It's not going to be one of those deals where it's going to sit around off the coast and bring us days of rain. That's not going to happen. High pressure is building in, so we still have the forecast where we're going to see rain today and tomorrow, and then by Sunday it'll be dry. So this is not going to be a deal where it's going to sit there and spin along the Texas coast or sit across southeast Texas and give us days of rain. That's not going to happen with this. It's going to continue to spin off towards the west as high pressure builds in. And like I said, chances of this developing is something I'd be surprised. If we got even a tropical depression out of that, I would be very surprised. Anyway, here's Futurecast. Futurecast been doing pretty good this morning, showing pretty light showers across the area. Now, one thing I am concerned about is Futurecast really starting to light up the radar as we go towards the afternoon. You can see this is around 3:30, and it keeps it pretty active through 6 o'clock, and even through about 10 o'clock it kept it pretty active. By 10 o'clock it calms things down, and then overnight it just shows a few patchy showers into tomorrow morning. So we'll be watching, see if that kind of happens over the next few hours. If it happens through the afternoon, we get some heavier rains. Like I said, if we do, right now it looks like, you know, a couple inches of rain possible with some of these heavier bands if they come into the area, but not looking for a ton of rainfall out there. And then Saturday, everything is starting to shift more to the west because high pressure building in from the east. So we're starting to see everything shift off towards the west. So Houston going to be a little bit more wet tomorrow, it looks like. We will still see some rain. It's good 60% coverage of rain, but it's not going to be as much as we see today. If we see much at all today, we'll have to wait and see, but still a chance tomorrow, and then after that we start to dry out. Like I said, that low pressure will continue to move off towards the west. We don't have to worry about it too much. Flash flood watch until 7 o'clock tonight. They might extend it one more day until Saturday with the rain possible for the next few days. All right, here's the river levels. I'll give you the latest what I saw this morning. This is the Natchez River, of course. This is Town Bluff. Moderate flooding there, 72.8. They're expecting it to rain steady the next few days. Evadale, moderate flooding there, actually falling right now, 20.97. So they're expecting to continue to slowly come down. In Beaumont on the Natchez River, don't have a current gauge available, but it's expected to crest at 10.8 early Saturday afternoon. Now that's down from what they were forecasting just earlier this morning. They were thinking it was going to be up more around 11.3, 11.1, 11.3 for Saturday. So now they've adjusted that down to 10.8. Saltwater barrier major flooding there, 10.03 this morning. They're expected to be 11.1 on Saturday morning. Also, Sabine River, Bonware, moderate flooding there, 34.3, expected to rise to 35.2 Sunday morning. Deweyville, moderate flooding, pretty much holding steady at 27.6. That's what we have right now. And in orange on the Sabine River, they're only expecting minor flooding, currently 4.2, and they've adjusted the crest to 4.8 by Saturday afternoon, which is also a little bit down from what they were predicting earlier. So that's some good news there. All right, Cow Bayou. Right now at 21.6 at Mauriceville. It continues to slowly go up. There's no forecast for Cow Bayou, but right now at 21.6, it might get up to 22. We'll have to wait and see, but some major flooding there along Cow Bayou. Village Creek, right now near Koontz, minor flooding, 17.8. They're expecting to crest at 18.3 Sunday morning. And then Pine Island Bayou, some moderate flooding there, currently at 28.7. They're expected to crest at 29 early Saturday morning. So those are all the current river levels and the forecast as we go through the next few days on major waterways out there across southeast Texas. Take a real quick look at some of the rainfall that we had through the overnight. This is over the last 6 hours, and you can see the heaviest rain that we had overnight was definitely close towards the orange area, going up towards the southern end of Jasper County. This little brown spot there was 4 inches of rain over the last 6 hours around the orange area. See if I can fit this in there. Over 2, some spots maybe closer to 3 inches of rain around the orange area earlier this morning at 2.8, going up into the southern parts of Jasper County. So we had some heavy rain overnight, but right now, like I showed you on radar, we just have some spotty showers out there across southeast Texas. So today's forecast, flash flood watch, possibly some heavy rain popping up later on this afternoon. Temperatures there in the upper 70s and lower 80s, and then periods of scattered showers, periods of rain through the overnight with some temperatures into the lower 60s and or upper 60s and lower 70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, still a good coverage Saturday before we dry out Sunday, Monday, and really next week we don't see much in the way of rain, 20-30% chance of some rain as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, and then looks like dry again Thursday and Friday of next week. So continue to watch the radar, continue to watch those river levels, but right now not too much of a concern as far as what radar is showing, as we're just seeing basically some scattered hit and miss showers across the air. A couple of heavy downpours here and there, but that shouldn't aggravate the flooding situation across southeast Texas too much. We'll continue to watch the Gulf of Mexico for more rain to come in from the south, and like I said, we'll watch that disturbance down there in the Gulf, but I don't see much of a development there. So let me check out some of these comments here, folks chiming in, and let's see what we got. Shirley, I just gave you some rain estimates. Or if you want a rain estimate for today, like I said, you're looking at about 2 to 4 feet of rain possibly. Shannon, yeah, there is more rain coming, but a little bit more manageable than what we saw earlier this week, 2 to 4 inches. I know you don't want another drop of rain. Nobody really wants another drop of rain around the area, but better than getting 2 to 4 then, or maybe even less than that, than getting the 8 to 15 we had earlier this week. Weekend forecast, I just showed you that, Madeline. We're going to see some scattered showers on Saturday. Sunday looks fine, though. Maybe not a lot of sunshine on Sunday, but it looks like it's going to be fine as far as keeping dry. Will I-10 flood over at Orange the next couple of days? Right now, they just have minor flooding along I-10 at Orange, so I don't see it flooding over the whole entire interstate. I know they closed the Welcome Center over there, but right now it doesn't look like they're going to get too much more. What was the level there at Orange? Let's go back here to the graphic. I think this is it. No, hold on. I think this might be it. Yeah, they're just talking about 4 points. So it's going to go up another about half a foot or so they're showing in Orange. At least that's what they're forecasting right now. So it shouldn't cover the interstate over there in Orange. George, I already talked about that low. It's not going to stall out. I think it's going to keep moving off towards the west and then just fade out across Texas. So I don't think it's going to be a problem as far as sticking around for several days and giving us rain. It looks like we'll get some rain from it today and tomorrow, then that's it. Yeah, it is trying to spin, but they are showing a little bit more spin. Let me go back to that graphic in the Gulf of Mexico. Earlier we had a lot of spin in the middle to upper parts of the atmosphere. I didn't really see what they call a surface reflection or low-level spin out there. But now it's starting to get a little bit more in the way of some low-level circulation, so I think that's why the Hurricane Center went ahead and put a 40% chance on that system out there in the Gulf of Mexico. But like you said, it's moving now. It's moving at a pretty good clip, so it should be near the coast of Texas late tonight into Saturday. And at that point, of course, it's not going to develop because it'll be over land. So like I said, it doesn't have much time to develop, and getting up into some cooler water now, I don't think we'll have to worry about it too much. So let's see. No, there is rotation there. It doesn't have to be a tropical system to have rotation with it. So there's definitely is rotation around the center of that thing. So yeah, officially hurricane season doesn't start until The 1st of June goes to the end of November, of course. And the peak of the season, really, when we really are under the gun for the most part, is late August, early September. Usually September 10th, September 11th is usually the peak of the season where we're watching 2 or 3 different storms. Usually June, July, most of August is fairly quiet. We don't see too much there, but last year was kind of a freak season when we had 30 storms and broke a record. And to be honest with you, some of those storms were suspect. They literally were around for less than a day, and they looked like they were just a little, I don't know. Just looked like they named them to be naming them, like they were trying to break a record. But that's my own opinion. That doesn't reflect anybody else. That's my own opinion. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they name this or not. It is a large area of spin out there in the Gulf, and it is trying to push in some moisture into southeast Texas here. Like I said, like they're saying, it doesn't matter if it's named or not. And you can see around this thing the moisture funneling in to parts of not only southeast Texas but southern Louisiana as well. So that's why we're calling for high coverage of rain possibly later on today with some of these showers moving into the area. Whether we're going to see heavy bands set up across southeast Texas, that remains to be seen today. We could miss the heavy bands altogether, or we could be sitting under one for most of the afternoon. It just depends on how they set up and move in. Right now, if you look at the flow, we're seeing some rain move in, but it's definitely not anything too heavy out in the Gulf of Mexico where we're watching, it doesn't look like there's too much out there that's going to be affecting us. Let's take a closer look here right off the coast, and you can see a couple of heavier bands, but those are sliding over towards Galveston. They're not working in towards southeast Texas. So we'll continue to watch, but right now, like I said, I'm more concerned about the stuff back over south central Louisiana than I am directly south of us, because that's moving off towards the east. 3 weeks to dry out would be a good thing. Tornado risks are going to be very low. I don't see too much in the way of severe weather. It's just not a good setup for severe weather out there. So especially with that low out there, I just don't see too much going on as far as any severe weather around here. Lake Charles has been fairly dry this morning. Lake Charles been catching a couple of showers here and there. They're watching that band of rain down towards Vermilion Bay, south central Louisiana, as it heads toward them. Once again, they're just like us. They don't need another drop of rain. They actually had more rain than we did over here in southeast Texas, so they're hoping that the rain stays away. Expected to be the worst possibly this afternoon into this evening if one of these bands of heavy rain sets up and moves over southeast Texas. All right. How much rain do you expect towards Green Acres? Once again, just kind of a blanket overview of about 2 to 4 inches of rain possible across the area if we get one of these heavy bands to set up. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think we're going to see one area pinpointed with more rain than the other. It's generally going to be, once again, about 2 to 4 inches possibly for today, or less than that, or could be a couple isolated spots, maybe a little higher than that, 5 or 6 inches if we get some heavy rain steady through the afternoon, but I don't see much more than that if we even get that. So let's see. Yeah, folks talk about another Harvey. You got to remember, Harvey was 60 inches of rain in 4 days, and one of those days included a day where we had 26 inches of rain in one day. Both of those are records. Harvey with 60 inches of rain, that was the highest storm total ever for one storm. And then 26 inches in one day was the highest total that we've ever had here. Not only, I think, in southeast Texas, but around the whole region. 26 inches in a day is unbelievable. I can't believe that I was here when that happened, because it's just so much rain. It's just crazy. And yeah, as far as tropical development right now, the Gulf is just not set up for seeing anything develop into some major kind of storm. The waters are too cool. Just not going to see that right now. I think they are. I think 40% is about as high as they're going to go on development of this thing. They I say that they might kick it up to 60% later on this evening. You never know before it makes landfall, but I can't see it. But I'm just hard pressed to see it develop into anything. If it would be anything at all, it'd be a tropical depression. And once again, most of the moisture with that I think is going to be going more to the south, closer to the center of it. You notice this thing is drifting off fairly westerly. So if you kind of track it, it's going to be kind of maybe drifting off towards this direction here. And that would keep most of the rain around it closer to the center, or probably from Houston southwestward. And once again, I just don't see it. I don't see it sticking around. That high pressure building in from the east is going to push it off towards the west. And it's not going to be one of these deals where it sets up and it rains for days. It's just not going to happen. Well, is it going to be a little rainmaker? Well, 2 to 4 inches of rain is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, definitely, if we get that, that's not going to help our situation at all. But you compare that to what happened on Monday, it is not much rain. Typically around here, we could get 2 to 6 inches of rain in a day where we've had dry conditions and it rains 6 inches, and we might see some localized street flooding, and that's it. We can handle that. But the way the situation is now with the flooding problems out there, if we catch another 4 to 6 inches of rain, that's really going to aggravate what we have out there. If we get another couple of inches of rain, that won't be good, but that's not going to cause things to really jump up as far as water levels or anything like that. So we might get a pretty good soaking this afternoon if it comes together. If we get one of these bands to come in off the Gulf of Mexico, or we might end up with these scattered showers through the rest of the day, these kind of pop-up showers, which that's what I'm pulling for sure, but we'll have to wait and see. Computer model, like I said, we'll go back to that real quick, indicating that something heavier is going to be coming in for later on this afternoon. Now, this is just one computer model, and it's forecasting possibly some heavy rain this afternoon. And as Patrick likes to say, these computer models are tools we use to make a forecast. They're not actually forecasts, but they're the tools we use to make a forecast. And right now, we're going to use this and basically say it's a high chance of seeing some rain for later on this afternoon to the early evening. It does clear it out around about 10 o'clock, midnight or so, just some scattered showers. So we'll have to wait and see. It's kind of a wait and see game right now, what's going to be going on this afternoon. Yesterday we didn't get a whole lot. The day before we didn't get a whole lot. So we've had a couple of days where just some scattered showers around. Hopefully that'll be the case today. We won't see too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have one of these stronger bands move through the area between now and tomorrow afternoon. Just because of the way the atmosphere is set up, we have that flow off the Gulf of Mexico. I'm still thinking that between now and tomorrow sometime we could catch a quick couple inches of rain. Just last night around Orange, they picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain. I showed you the rainfall totals there. So definitely with just one of these bands coming in, we can pick up a quick couple of inches here and there. So we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, right now I don't see a repeat of Monday, and I also don't see anything developing down there in the Gulf of Mexico. If anything, they might tweak it up to a tropical depression before it officially makes landfall. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, tropical depression is winds up to 39 miles per hour. So if they're getting, as it gets close to the coast, if they get some observations of winds gusting to 35, 36 miles per hour, and they might go ahead and call it a tropical depression. We'll have to wait and see. But you have to have winds at 39 or higher to become a tropical storm, and that's when it would officially get some kind of a name or something like that. So, like I said, I'll be interested to see what they do with that and when it comes in. And yes, it will give us a better chance of rain. That does not guarantee us to see flooding rains, or does not guarantee us to see really high rain amounts. Like I said, it just depends on how things set up and these bands come across into southeast Texas right now. We don't see too much going on. We have one band there that's going to be moving over into Galveston, south or towards Houston, and then this band here is also working its way off towards the west-northwest. So that's got a long way to go before it would make it over into southeast Texas, and we'd have to wait and see if it would hold together some. So we continue to watch down here in the Gulf of Mexico and see what's going on out here. Right now, I don't see a whole lot in the way of these wide areas of rain pushing up towards us. So hopefully we can get away with just some spotty scattered showers as we go through the rest of the afternoon. I'm sorry I kind of jerked that radar around a little fast for you there. Anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Just to let you know that we're staying on top of the weather situation. We'll let you know what's going on. If you need to see those river forecasts again, you can go to Jeff Gerber 12 News Now page. Just look it up on Facebook. Search it on Facebook, and I posted them a little bit earlier. When I get the new ones in, I'll post them again, and Patrick will be posting those a little bit later today, and I'm sure he's going to be doing some Facebook and some broadcast live and letting you know what's going on. But once again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're watching it right now, just some scattered showers out there. We hope we can get through at least the rest of the morning with a few scattered showers, and then this afternoon we'll have to wait and see what develops. Right now, I'm not seeing anything in the immediate future to indicate a ton of rainfall for today. So, but we'll keep watching it and keep you updated. Have a great day.